Good evening. This is the February 22nd, 2017 meeting of the Auburn Conservation Commission. This meeting is being broadcast live and is also being recorded for a later rebroadcast. People who are interested in seeing our meeting can go to auburnguide.com and click on Conservation Commission website. The first item on tonight's agenda is 7 o'clock public hearing. Request for determination filed by Carlo Panarelli relating to property at 889 Southbridge Street. Is there a motion open?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed to vote. It is my understanding that Mr. Panarelli, Mr. Panarelli has requested a continuance.
Yes.
To when?
I've continued him to 3/8 at 7:30.
Okay.
Would like to.
7:30? Okay. Is there a motion?
Make a motion that we continue the hearing for Carlo Panarelli to March 8th at 7:30.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote. Okay, now I understand that we have Ms. Lancio here relating to the Packagug Golf Course. So if you'd like to come up, please.
I'm Laurie Lancio, this is Susan Ward. We're both advocates for the golf course property. I have some packets. I don't know if any of you are aware of what we're trying to do. The present deed for this property simply states the town of Auburn. The
Thank you.
town meeting in 1981, when we acquired the land as the town, voted to acquire the land with the help of a matching fund from the Land and Water Conservation Fund, under the condition that conservation and historic commissions would be in charge. There was also, 2 months later, there was another piece of land, the Gilbert Stockwell land on Barn Street, that was acquired, similar, but it required no funding. But on that deed, it says Town of Auburn Conservation Commission. So there's a protection there for the land. The Conservation Commission would be the ones deciding what happens to it. The Packagug Golf Course, 61.9 acres, is simply under the Town of Auburn, even though town meeting voted to put the two commissions in charge of it. The way it stands now, if the town decided to sell it to a developer, it's gone, because legally there's no standing, there's no way to protect it. I've done a lot of research. The Land and Water Conservation Fund matched the grant, so the town only had to pay $153,750 for the property. But there are conditions, because it's a federal and state grant program through the National Park Service and the Department of the Interior. I have spoken to people in both of those agencies, and as of right now, the town is actually in violation of some of the conditions, because they have gone ahead and made renovations to the clubhouse, they've cut down trees, they've adjusted the property. We don't need any legal battles with them. What we're trying to do is just to make sure that nothing further gets changed and nothing gets destroyed, and that Packagug Golf Course will remain a conservation area and a historic area, because it goes way back to F.E. Ward's farm, Robert Goddard's launch site, and the American Rocketry Society has a small portion of the golf course, but actually Robert Goddard and all of the research that I've done, he shot rockets everywhere up there. I mean, he had F.E. Ward running for her life. But it's very important to a lot of people in town, not just us. Donald Ward, the original owner of the property, went and got the help of Senator Kennedy and Congressman Early to get the Land and Water Conservation Fund to put those federal and state restrictions on it. and then town meeting approved it with that condition. So we're just asking you, as the commission, if you would vote to add 4 words after the town of Auburn on this deed. The simple words being Conservation and Historic Commissions. It doesn't change the grantee on the deed, who is the town of Auburn. It just mentions that you have a say in it.
What makes you think that we have the authority to do that? Sure. Oh, sure.
Well, because the Conservation Commission was eliminated from that deed. It was an oversight, or it was just...
Well, ma'am, I mean, I'm somewhat familiar with the history. I'm aware of what Mr. Prouty, I think, intended to do. And I've also seen, and I think as you have seen, Attorney Hennigan's letter back in December of 16, where he just talks about the deed and whether the grant or the transfer of the property was legal and appropriate, and he thought it was. I mean, so I'm just kind of curious what you believe we have, or what authority you think the Conservation Commission has to tell the Board of Selectmen to basically add these additional words to the deed.
Because the town meeting members appointed Conservation and Historic Commissions, who over the years have had many joint meetings to discuss happenings at the golf course and appointing a golf course committee.
Well, are you talking specifically about the Conservation Commission, ma'am?
Yes.
Because I've been on the commission for 22 years, and you know, we've had filings by or some involvement when I know there was discussion about transfer of ownership of the vendor or the contractor that was going to run the golf course. All right. I mean, your request on its face seems very simple to me, but I don't believe that we have the authority. If you look at our jurisdiction, ma'am, we have very specific jurisdiction under the Wetlands Protection Act, the Rivers Act, and also our bylaws and regulations. And I would love to know what Mr. Prouty was thinking when he put that or made that condition back in 1980. I frankly don't think that we've got the authority to do what you're asking. I think that is really something that has to be, if the change has to be made, I believe it's something that the Board of Selectmen has to do. And I don't believe we have the authority. I mean, I know it's not the answer you want, ma'am, but I just don't think it's within our jurisdiction. I don't think we have the resources to be a steward of the golf course. I understand, you know, with the intention, it's a good intention, but the deed is to the town of Auburn.
But, may I interject you?
No, because I'm not done yet. All right? With all due respect, the town of Auburn owns the property. We are a volunteer commission. We have our jurisdiction, as I said, is set forth under certain laws and regulations relating to wetlands and to the rivers and adjacent areas. So I don't think we can't tell, I guess what I'm saying to you is that I can't send a letter to the chairman of the Board of Selectmen saying, we want you to add or amend the deed to do this, because I don't think we have the authority to do it. And if you can point to me, if you can show me by statute or by common law where you think this Conservation Commission does have the authority to do that, I would be happy to entertain it.
The Land and Water Conservation Matching Fund that was awarded and sponsored by the Auburn Conservation Commission.
Where's the evidence, ma'am? And when was it?
It was authorized March 28th, 1980.
By whom?
The United States Department of the Interior, National Park Service, and Land and Water Conservation Fund. And I had this confirmed by Emily Ferguson from the National Park Service and Caroline Henry at the Department of the Interior.
Those
The
are,
application was submitted for the Land and Water Conservation Matching Fund by the then-standing Conservation Commission with the help of Senator Kennedy, Joe Early, and Mr. Ward.
ma'am, I am, with all due respect, that document you're referring to is what, 37 years old? I don't know that it has,
The Board of Selectmen at the town meeting in 1981 confirmed that conservation, the property has been placed under the control of the Conservation and Historic Commissions.
then I thank the Board of Selectmen. If you haven't been to see the Board of Selectmen, you need to point that language out to them and tell them that in fact, because, see, they're the authority. They're the fiscal authority, and they have the power, and in my opinion, the only power, not the Historical Commission, not the Conservation Commission, but the Board of Selectmen have the only authority. If they want to file an amended deed or corrected deed with the Registry of Deeds, they have to vote on it and they have to approve it. Okay? Taking everything that you're saying into account, and I am listening to what you're saying, and I'm sorry that you don't like what I'm saying, but I'm saying to you, we don't have the authority to do what you're asking us to do, in my opinion.
So you don't have the authority to simply ask the Board of Selectmen as the Conservation Commission to consider adding these to have everything combined as town meeting voted back in 1981?
Ma'am, this packet that you handed us, this is the first time we've seen it. And,
No, I emailed it to you, Mr. Garland.
well, ma'am, you emailed it to me, and then, as you recall, I told you at that time that there had to be an opinion rendered by town council, which is what you did, okay? But even though you sent it to me, this commission hasn't considered what you're submitting. And you're talking about a pretty extensive and detailed history, a legislative history. You're talking about the federal government, you're talking about different granting authorities. And so, for us to make a decision on this, it's going to require some study, okay? Now, if you want to, and I don't know if you've submitted this packet to the town or not, all right? Or submitted all the other information that you've submitted, and ask them for a thorough history detailing everything, okay? My suggestion would be, I'm just saying to you that right now, I'm not comfortable in making that recommendation to the Board of Selectmen. All right? I'm speaking only for myself. Other members of the commission may have a different opinion.
Well, if anybody wants to call me after they review the packet, my number's right on the front.
You know, if you'd like to come back and see us in a few weeks, maybe give us, we're meeting again on March 8th and also on March 22nd. If you will give us time to study the materials that you've submitted to us, and perhaps during that time period, you can also speak to the board, maybe speak to Ms. Jacobson, and we'll have more information or a better idea of what the status is.
Mr. Chairman, may I ask a question?
Please.
For the benefit of people who haven't had a chance to look at the land that's behind your properties, is that considered part of the Packagug Golf Course, or is that is also,
It's 61.9
so
acres.
it is
The
part of
whole
the
thing.
golf course?
It's the whole thing,
Okay.
yes.
Is there any, would there be any wetlands or any water up there that that the Conservation Commission would be overseeing? Not at all?
Not
It
up
is
there,
not, it is not wetland, no, it's
not
all
up by the
ledge.
barn, but down on the course itself, yes.
Yeah, but not property behind.
Right,
No.
not behind.
Okay. My other question would be, would it be possible to speak with Mr. Proudy and see what he recalls about that situation, and see if he has any ideas?
Certainly.
Or is there anybody that's still, it looks like they had a liaison or a special board that met between the two committees for a while. Are any of those people still around?
I have no idea.
Do you know who any of those people are?
No,
I just read this quick, so
Yeah.
it's the first time I'm seeing this, so.
No, I spoke to a couple of town meeting members who remember the vote, but,
Because it says,
That was a long time ago.
Yeah,
Joseph Miller III, is that the one that's in the
Yes.
water department
Yes,
now?
that's mine, yes. That's correct. I know him very well.
Yes, I do also.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
available.
sounds familiar to me.
Yeah, Joe is.
I just
would
saw
like
it there,
to
it looked
see-
like there was a special subcommittee that was there for a time that acted as a liaison between the two committees. Are any of those people still around?
I think there were a lot of meetings between the Conservation Commission and the Planning
Murray
Board
is.
at one point,
Yeah.
and then
Murray
the
is.
Historic Commission was called.
I can actually talk to Bob.
Bob Murray is.
Yeah, I can talk to
I can
Bob.
talk to Joe Miller because he's,
I have a question that I just noticed on this, just from reading this the first time. If you look on page 26,
26.
The copies
it's
are
highlighted.
available.
What it says here, after said purchase and made only is a 50% reimbursement by the Bureau of Heritage Conservation and Recreation Service to the Federal Land and Water Conservation Fund. Said land to be placed under the joint control of the Conservation Commission and Historical Commission. The motion made by Roy Johnson, seconded by Donald something. And below that, a motion was made by Guy R. Elliott, seconded by Dan Scavone, to amend this article by deleting the words after 61.9 acres and to replace the last sentence with the words said land to be placed under the control of the Board of Selectmen.
And it was
Oh, wait a
voted
minute.
down.
It was voted down, okay? Yep, so I'm reading this.
Very good.
Oh, now I'm
Yeah.
fine.
Maybe a second.
And it was given to you.
And in the, I can tell you, in the 37 years since that meeting, and I don't know about the Historical Commission, but the Conservation Commission has never exercised stewardship or control over that property. Okay, now, and again, I wasn't there in 1980. I can't explain why it did not come to pass. But I think before, any further action is taken, we're trying to recreate 37 years of history, what has transpired since 1980, okay? And
We wouldn't be here if they weren't trying to change everything.
well, ma'am,
Do things
and ma'am,
they shouldn't be doing.
I understand that's your opinion, all right?
My opinion about what, that they shouldn't be doing something.
Well, you're saying they're changing things, and I'm not sure exactly what you're referring to.
They renovated the whole golf club,
Mm-hmm,
the clubhouse.
mm-hmm.
They have put in all kinds of wires up to the old barn. They've taken down lots of trees.
Okay.
Change the
And I'm saying
pond.
to you, as the owner of the property, all right, without regard to stewardship or control by the Conservation Commission and Historical Commission, as owners of the property, I believe that is their right, unless there's some sort of,
Yes,
Contr-
there is.
and ma'am, with all due respect, okay, this was put on the agenda, I don't know when it was on the agenda, it hasn't been advertised as a public meeting, which is why we're not going to take comments from the public, all right, you handed us this packet of information, and I'm mindful of what you're saying, and I understand that there's an issue here, okay? I would rather have the opportunity to, if Ms. Jacobson allows me to do it, to have further discussions with Mr. Hennigan, because he's gonna have to, he's there, the town attorney, he's gonna have to make a legal determination on your request, right? And get as much information as we can, and that means, speaking to people that were actually town meeting members back in 1980. And I think to do that and to do it competently and thoroughly, we need to continue this, I would say, for 2 meetings. I would suggest we continue it to March 22nd. Okay?
Okay,
All right.
thank you for your time. And
Thank you.
like I said, if anybody has any questions, my number's on the front of the letter, and I have about 2 feet of research. So I probably have an answer.
All right. All right, I appreciate you coming in.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, the next item on our agenda is a 7:15 public hearing. Maureen Dubois, a request for determination for the construction of a dwelling at 19 Southwood Street and a garage at 15 Southwood Street. Is there a motion open? Is there a second? Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, so vote. Voice?
Yes.
Hi.
Second. I own number 15A19 Southbridge Street,
All right.
and I'm looking to replace the current house at number 19.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Um, it's just, I'm running into a lot of problems with the house. It's just old, and it just, I have foundation problems and chimney problems, and immediately want to replace the house. It's it's really small, doesn't meet our needs, so I'm putting in a 3-bedroom ranch, a modular, which will reduce my out time. It's actually going to go in the very same location that the current house is in.
Okay.
It will just come out the side of the yard. And that's basically it. And on the back lot, for number 15, that lot is L-shaped. And I need to put up a oversized garage. My son has one of those big trucks, and he can't fit it into either of the garages that we have.
All right.
I have a carport. This property has been in my late husband's family since 1892. So the bones of that carport are 125 years old. It's in danger of collapsing. So it needs to come down. So I now need to accommodate what I can no longer accommodate when I take that down. There's a swell on my neighbor's property, which I guess is why I have to be here.
A swell?
Swell, what do they call it? Swell, whatever it is.
It's a swell. What we will do, and we've been sidelined because of the weather for the last few weeks, but luckily the snow's melting. So what we normally do is we would make a site visit to just, it's one thing to see it on a plan, it's certainly another thing to actually go and see what the conditions are at the site. We normally make our site walks on Saturday mornings. You don't have to be there if you have, if you don't mind us coming and taking a look. Otherwise, we would knock on your door and just let you know why we're there. But that's what we typically do. So if that, and in fact, we haven't discussed it, but I'm hopeful that, I think the weather this weekend's supposed to be good, so I'm hoping we'll be able to make some sidewalks this weekend.
19 Southbridge.
So,
I live in number 19, which is the house we're going to replace. I have a tenant in number 15, but that back Jerome Ave lot they're two separate deeds. So that's why I had to do two separate.
sure, that's fine. So would that be okay for us to come and make a visit on Saturday?
Sure.
All right. Okay. So, in order to allow us to make a site visit, would you assent to continuing the hearing on this to our next meeting?
Sure.
Okay. And Sheila, what time would that be?
Let's see. All right, now it's going to be 7:45 because I've already got the other
Okay.
3 there.
Right, I move to move Maureen DuBois to 7:45 on March 8th.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? It's a vote. So, we'll probably swing by after 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay?
So now exactly what,
You just go and look to see what the water, like where that swale is and where it is in proportion to the house and how much, what effect it's gonna have on the waterway and that kind of stuff. And then we'll do your request for determination and then it'll be granted or denied based on what we see on the block. Okay, and that'll be done that weekend.
okay.
You just want to sign the bottom there? So it's 7:45, 7:48, March 8th. Okay? All
All
right.
right, thank you.
Thank you, Marty.
Thank you.
So this is Udway.
Yeah,
Right?
right. So apparently,
That didn't get any better.
Well, nothing's changed. I
Actually,
believe under the terms of the enforcement order, they have until, is it March 22nd?
Yes.
I think that's what we said,
How
yeah.
recent is that?
That's the
think she just
pictures
sent
I took. No, I took this
That was
picture.
on-
Oh, that's it. Oh,
January.
okay,
Yeah,
There we are.
okay.
I ran
exactly.
those off today.
So, Sheila, just as a point of clarification, when you signed the enforcement order, was it with the signature page from everyone or mine? Do we need to ratify it?
What I ended up doing, he called and he said, you know, that I had sent it to 4 Pioneer Lane and he's not living there. So I did email him the one with everyone's signature.
Okay, that's fine. All right, and then he wanted to see the pictures, right?
Yes.
Okay, and
So
then
I
you-
sent him
so
all
that's-
those.
Good, all right. Okay, very good. We have a few minutes until our next public hearing.
That was the first one, to come out.
Sorry about not being able to make it last
March
week.
8th.
I was in my office until about 9:10.
It's okay.
Sorry.
These things happen.
Yeah.
You're forgiven. This time.
That's it.
So Fred's such a cheery disposition.
What's all you get?
Shall we go over the meeting minutes? Of course, you don't have to look at them, Michelle, 'cause-
Okay. That's because I
right.
wasn't here.
Good, maybe you can give me your copy. Seems
Okay.
like I
Yeah, I will
misplaced
do that.
mine.
Hold on. There you go.
Thank you.
I'm on page 3. It's 7:45 public hearing. The sentence beginning with my name. And it says that an enforcement order was issued to Mr. Fan and Linda Lee. I think it should read, had been issued. It gives the impression that we had issued an enforcement order more recently.
Okay.
Or
Had been
maybe,
issued?
or was previously issued.
As previously, okay.
And then the last sentence under 745, it says March 8, 2017, the flooding should be remediated.
Sure.
I would just cross that out.
Okay.
And aside from those changes, I have nothing else. Good job.
Wow. Hey.
Any other changes?
I just have a question on 730, I was on page 2, she brought up then, the impact fitness, about halfway down, there was no formal easement for this town drain, there was no water at the site last October. That's when it was shut up. there was no water at the site, meaning there was nothing that was visible at that time.
Yeah,
Is that what it meant?
no visible water.
Invisible, okay,
Yeah, I mean, if you want to put that, modify that, that's fine.
okay.
No
Just-
visible water?
No visible, yeah, that's okay. No visible water, that's all. They just commented also on that one, a high parking lot. Did they elaborate on the high parking lot?
There are two parking lots. One is, there's an upper
Right.
level, and then there's a lower level parking lot.
Right, I know, I'm aware of both of them, so
Right.
higher when they're going to access that one, so be able to get around the building.
That's my understanding.
Yes, that's what I thought.
Okay,
Thank you.
sure. Any other changes? If there are no other changes, is there a motion to accept the meeting minutes for February 8th, 2017 as amended?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second. Go ahead. I'll second it.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
I abstain.
Okay, great.
I just wanted to let you know, I did get, Glenn Grabowski did call me today, so he's going to go back out to the site there and with Mark LaPrade, he said, and shoot some more elevations. I don't know.
And do some what? I'm sorry.
Shoot some more elevations out there.
Okay.
Here's to see what it looks like now, with all the snow melting.
Okay.
Yeah, I
It's gonna
can't
be
imagine it's
disaster.
gotten better.
Saturday, site visit to
We can swing
We
by
should,
there.
we should swing by there, I think that's
Okay.
enough.
The next item on our agenda is a 7:30 public hearing, Spar Hawk Realty LLC request for determination for the construction of a storage facility at 3 Jerome Avenue. Is there a motion open? Is there a second? Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote. Anyone here from Spar Hawk?
Good evening. Thank you for your time.
Yes.
I'm Keith Sparhawk. This is YZ from HS&T Group. I'm actually following behind somewhat family member Maureen. Alongside of
Thank you.
the road that the town has access to a pumping station. That's a man, Doug Swale, which is no longer in service.
Okay.
It comes from behind Mrs. Dubois's property and dumps into the sewer system.
Okay.
And that's, Matt suggested I come to get negative or positive, or what do we have to do? But it's dry, it's not wetlands, and it's not used anymore.
Okay. Well, if there was a positive determination, you would have to see us again. So, and you heard my my little speech to Mrs. Dubois. We're making some sidewalks on Saturday, and so with your permission, we will take a look at that point.
Okay, that's actually not my land, but I have no problem meeting in there.
Okay, and if
Yep.
you know, if you think you don't have to meet us there if you don't want to.
No, I think I will, because the only reason there's some water in there is, which is none of my business, someone's putting water in there, so.
All right. Very good.
It's not my issue, not my problem, so.
So why don't we say we'll meet you about, I want to say 9:30 then, on Saturday, if
Yeah.
that's okay with you?
Yep.
Okay. And as, again, along the same lines, if you would have sent to continue the public hearing to our next meeting on March 8th, that would be appreciated. Is that
Okay.
All right?
Just have you sign this
Can I
form.
say something? though?
Please.
Yeah.
I did notice, like, Keith, like, when the town cut down the trees, like, along here, did they use any pavers and stuff?
Did they what?
Did they, like, put,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
No, see, they called me to ask me if they could, I have had some beautiful arborvitaes all along that roadway, and they asked if they could trim them.
Mhm.
Well, they cut them in half, so they did.
When was that?
About 2 years ago.
Okay. And
So-
who'd you speak to?
I don't remember the gentleman's, he called through a good friend of mine, Gary Pike, who does all my work,
Okay.
which will tell you that this, nothing, not a speck of dirt will move from this piece of property, because he's the best, but, I don't remember who it was, and I said, yeah, just trim the tops a little, because they were leaning over on the road, and they had a high plow, and they had problems
Right.
plowing, but they're no good now, Gary's gonna have to dig them up when
Okay.
which is okay, I mean, it was,
That's unfortunate.
it's done, so.
Right.
And I also bought the abandoned two-family that was there to acquire this piece of property. I own this whole corner now, and I had to tear that down. We allowed the fire department to do drills and safety exercises, stuff like that, so
All right.
that's where I stand.
All right.
So Sheila, when can we put this on?
8 o'clock.
Okay. So is there a motion to
would.
continue?
I make a motion that we continue the Sparhawk Realty hearing, 8:30 on
Nope,
March.
8.
I'm sorry,
8.
8 o'clock.
Yeah, 8's
Sorry,
later.
thank you. 8 o'clock on March 8th, thank you.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote.
Okay.
Okay, thank you,
So
gentlemen.
you'll be here 9:30
Thank you,
Saturday?
January. Thank you again for your time.
You're welcome.
Bye.
We'll see you.
See you
You'll be
Saturday.
there 9:30 Saturday?
About that.
Yes.
Okay, all right,
Okay.
good.
Thanks, Sheila.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
When we were there last, was it summertime?
For the-
Not for his property, but
For
we
the
walked
other
through there.
We did.
I remember that. Do you remember we looked at them like, wow, these trees were, they were pretty bad.
Yeah.
But I didn't know they were cutting down.
We looked at that Timbuktu or
Yeah.
something it was, yes. I
Yeah,
remember
it's
that.
Timbuktu, that's exactly what it was, the
Yeah.
trails.
Yeah.
And we looked and we're like, wow, what is this? It's all, yeah. it was
We had
big.
92
What are you
inch
talking
ones.
about
Yeah.
now?
You don't cut those, we had one cut down the side of our house, the whole side, the whole, my son took them right out, and then they had to come with a tripod, they said, so, my son cut them, and then it's a tripod, got it. You don't just trim those.
No, I used to
You
do
know
that for
that.
years on the Monkey Island. That was fun stuff.
They don't,
A long time ago.
yeah, they drown.
No, you can make them nice.
Really?
You can really, yeah. Just get up on those big ladders with the big shit on. You gotta trim that. You don't chop them in half. My house. The front of my house is, I was like, it was 35 feet high. Because of that. And you look at it, you wouldn't know. And I could take it down, but there's so many birds living. And it's just, it's cool in the morning, you know, so it's like, you know.
Well, we have a few minutes before our next public hearing. Actually, we have more than a few minutes.
Yeah.
Um, So we'll have to go on the record at 7:45 anyway, but there was a request for an extension for an order of conditions for the Sportsman's Club.
Yes.
Okay. So
Just
can you-
tic tacs are those, and they're right here. Sheila, those are your tic tacs.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Here, the solitude lake management.
Okay, so what's the,
Oh, I've got an email.
I
An
put
extension.
them all on this, I put them all in a folder on my
Yeah,
computer. 'cause
I
was-
know, I didn't, I just
I wasted
threw it
it.
into a pile, I know. This was it.
oh, thank you.
I left it on my desk.
That's okay,
Okay.
I just got it.
Yep, Ashland, yep. And this one is
It's
from-
not,
we could go right from.
I think it's good until August. I don't know if
It
I'm
is.
just getting nervous and
And
wants
then
to,
we get placed by 9:30
you
or
know.
whatever.
She asked me last year for
We don't
the
need to go
extension,
far, I think, do we?
and I said, well, it's good till next year, you might just
Oh,
as
you
well
didn't go?
wait. And then I just noticed it was August.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's,
so let me read it into the record, okay?
Sure.
So this is directed to the commission from a Mark Ballad, or Ballode, who's president of Solitude Lake Management. Dear commission members, on behalf of our client, the Auburn Sportsman's Club, Solitude Lake Management would like to request a 3-year extension to the current orders of conditions. I think it's only one order. DEP file number 098-0670 for the continued maintenance of the aquatic vegetation in Auburn Sportsman's Club Pond. This order is due to expire on August 8, 2017. Solitude Lake Management has previously conducted treatments at Auburn Sportsman Club Pond in accordance with the above referenced order as required. All applications have been undertaken by licensed professionals at Solitude Lake Management's team in accordance with the manufacturer's label. A license to apply has been acquired from the Division of Watershed Management at Mass DEP in Worcester on an annual basis. As a result, we hope that the Commission will allow this request and issue an extension for the continued management of Auburn Sportsman's Club Pond. If you have any questions or need additional information, please feel free to contact us. So, that's it. Can't add more than that. So they're asking to continue the order conditions to allow them to continue treating the pond.
To continue, just to discontinue.
to continue
To continue.
treating the aquatic
3
vegetation.
years.
So is there,
I make a motion to extend for 3 years the order conditions for 50 Elm Street, Auburn Sportsman's for the management of the aquatic plants in the ponds. Expires in August 2017, extended to August 2020.
okay, August 8th to 2020.
Okay.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote.
Alrighty.
Can you give us an extension order? Do you have one?
I do have one, but I think I typed one up, but that's okay.
Well, aha! So you expected us to approve it?
Absolutely.
Oh, boy.
When I get a request, I just type it up. Okay, wait a
Just in
minute.
case, just only off chance.
Right.
That's the Blaker. I
We
didn't
went
go.
there, it was covered in
I
snow.
was sick then, yeah, so I don't know if we want to go.
Just
there.
down at the bottom,
Discussing
sign in
a
that
site
photo.
visit to Blaker. I had asked about it, but he said when you guys went, I
Yeah,
didn't
there
go
was,
there.
there was snow on the ground too.
So snow, should we go again?
Well, that we're going to be discussing that at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
So,
Did you want to save this? Do you save stuff like this or?
No.
Okay.
A lot of it's in my recycling bin these days.
Okay.
Didn't very full.
So we'll have walls soon though,
What's it like?
possibly as soon as tomorrow.
what's that?
We'll have walls as possibly as tomorrow though.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
I just want to see those closets.
Yeah.
I'm anxious to.
I'm anxious to see my closets as
I'm
well.
sure you will.
Yeah.
Can't wait for the housewarming party.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Can't wait for that as well.
Isn't it the summer on your deck?
Yeah, yeah. Or fall,
Yeah.
we'll see.
So,
Let's not rush stuff, Sheila, really.
Hey, you'll get it done quick.
I heard you're gonna hire a party barge.
Yes, that could happen as well,
Okay.
yes.
Sheila, it's from
Yeah.
Elise.
The next item on our agenda, or one of them, is a request from, for the West Street widening, a request for a certificate of compliance.
Oh, student compliance, oh, yes.
So, I mean, we're all familiar with the project, which is in connection with the construction of the new middle school. Do we think we need to take a look?
Did they clean up all that
We're actually heading
stuff
like
that they had there before?
That was,
Big box
that's
of-
at the high school.
This is
Oh, yeah, that was at the high
the
school.
widening of the
That's
road.
right, that's right, that's right.
So, why don't we, since we're gonna be out and about anyway, why don't we just, we'll take a look.
All right.
Okay,
Make a
West Street,
plan.
we have a plan.
Lot of visits
Be a
on
busy
Saturday.
morning.
Yeah, did they
Goodness.
clean up the stuff at the high school?
I have no idea.
I was gonna go
Take a
ski
look.
it until I
We
saw
can look at that on Saturday too. Let's break that into
56
Saturday.
56 and rain.
It'll be a good day.
Big.
And we're gonna go Sunday, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
too early for
We
spring
still have
cleaning.
plenty of it up north though, that's nice.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it'll get cold again. This
Not
is too
bad,
good
it's
to be
right
true.
straight down.
Mhm.
The West Street wide.
Okay.
I just added the high school too, to see if they cleaned up the stuff on the
Oh,
side.
thank you.
You're welcome. It's gonna be a rip-roaring day.
It's a
and
very busy
it's gonna be
morning.
very fun.
Get around
And since
town.
we're over there, do you wanna go to the waste management place too?
Oh, sure, why not?
It's 2:25, you'll be doing this site visit.
No, I don't.
Just be careful, you're gonna be dropping in their home pretty soon too.
On a more serious note, several of us are going to be attending the conference of the MACC
Yes,
on Saturday, March 4th.
yes.
So,
Did you write down?
My class
I
is
did.
sold out.
Most certainly did.
My course,
forgot.
my number 6 course was
I was
sold
looking for
out, so I
something
have to
with
pick a
copies.
different one.
Wait,
Okay.
Really?
Nine
Did they
versus
contact you
town.
directly?
They did.
are we all going?
Louise
Four of
is
us
the
are
only
going.
one that isn't.
Okay. Well, she has attended faithfully in years past.
Yes.
So,
She has no problem. Here it is, Tom, here's the one you and I were looking
Oh,
at.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Remember? And she was
So did you take another one?
I'm just gonna-
Not yet.
Yeah.
it's okay.
These things take time.
You know, someone might not even go yet, just.
probably-
She said,
Right.
actually, she
I
said
got
just
that one.
go to whatever you decide that you want to.
Yeah.
I might just go to that class
I go to that
anyway.
one too. Really? If that's the one you want, I can certainly
I
do that.
think I'm
Larry
gonna,
15, Mike is in that.
I'll bring my own little chair, it'll be fine.
The thing is,
Michelle
they have
is
to
on
cer-
any of
they
those.
have
Mike
to
is
certify
55.
that.
Right,
Huh?
They have to
Right,
certify
maybe
that.
that's
Commission
what
meeting
it is,
is
that
out
we
there.
just could use two
Oh,
more members
right.
of
Gotta
the
make sure they
commission.
know you're taking.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right now?
Get your
Okay.
certificate.
Whatever.
Okay, you're right.
I'm
I remember that.
We've got some time.
There's bound to
We
be
have
somebody
a
who's
couple
got
minutes
the
before
flu
the
or something
7:45
that can't
public
make it,
hearing.
so you just.
So we're all set on that
Yeah,
one.
And that's going to be continued.
We just need to show them, I mean, I went last year too, basically, and we just need to show them this right, Rich, sorry for that. When we register?
Yeah,
I
there
forget
shouldn't
what
be a
happened.
I
problem.
think
I
they
don't
just,
want
you
to have
just
it.
walk in and you say, hey, this is
No,
my
no,
name,
no.
and they give you the name tag thing.
Yeah,
and
they
you
said,
go.
no, it says, no, we haven't been paid, not a problem, bye, here you are.
Yeah.
So, Ms. Conroy makes a very good point. We need more members. We have been down 2 members since Mr. Reich and Mr. Olson decided to
Yeah.
leave our hallowed ranks for good reasons, I think. But in all seriousness, the work we do is important work, and I think it's interesting work. And with if anyone is out there that would have any questions, would like to ask us about what we do in the town commitments, please contact Ms. Conroy, and and then she'll get in touch with us.
Sure,
and
free to Julie.
we will be happy to answer any questions that you have, but
I'd
it
be
is
happy
important
to.
work to do, so.
Did you hear any more from that high school student that couldn't come to our last meeting or 2 meetings ago?
She did send an email, but.
Maybe you can get in touch with her.
Yeah. Ah.
Okay.
We
Okay.
had one in the Master Garden Committee, but I don't know.
So, in any event, I have 7:45. That clock is wrong. The next item on our agenda is a 7:45 public hearing. Andrew Lawton Impact Fitness, a notice of intent for the redevelopment of property located at 314 Washington Street. Is there a motion open?
I moved open.
Is there a second?
Second that?
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, a vote. I understand that we have received a request from Ms. DePinto to continue the public hearing. Is that right?
That's correct.
To our next meeting?
That is correct. I put him down for March 8th at 7:15.
Okay. So is there a motion?
I make a motion that we transfer the applicant for Impact Fitness to March 8th at 7:15. A hearing. Is it a hearing? No, it's not a hearing.
It is a public
It
hearing.
is probably hearing, okay.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second that.
Is there any discussion?
Yeah.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote. So we'll have to add that to our sidewalks also on
Yeah.
Saturday.
And that's which way we go in Impact, okay.
Okay.
Okay, we'll be running. We're busy with.
All right. We have some time before the 8 o'clock public hearing. Is there a motion to recess?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? To vote. Okay, we are in recess until 8 p.m.
Good.
Back in session. And the next item on our agenda is the 8 o'clock public hearing. Eastland Partners, a notice of intent for construction of a roadway and utilities at Blaker Street and Auburn. Is there a motion open?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed to vote. Good evening.
Good evening. For the record, I'm Chad Boardman. I represent Eastland Partners. We're doing a reserve at Ashworth Hill, the 4-lot subdivision. And what I have tonight is another update, and it appears that we're finally at the finish line. And just kind of want to pass in everything that's up to date so far. I've got 3 copies of the large plan that's going to be submitted to the planning board. Okay. And I can get you more copies in PDFs and go around, but I just thought I'd give you 3 large ones for now.
Okay.
Okay. They're,
Is this your final plan?
I believe it's the final plan. We have one more meeting with the planning board, and as of February 8th. There was multiple copies. I think you got a board. The final, the last review from Graves, they had maybe half a dozen things, comments,
Yes.
and that was sent back and responded to. to Graves.
Do you have copies for us of your response?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, I do have 5 of them here.
Okay.
So if we want to kind of spread them around, I should have made more, but
I have mine. I
sorry.
printed mine out.
Okay,
That's
you might have them.
Take
Sorry.
mine.
She's ready to turn out, so she's an overachiever over there.
So there's some technical issues in there regarding you guys as more towards the stormwater basins. There was a small revision of an elevation for a contour for access around one of the infiltration basins. It was just a minor edit for slope. There was also a detail wanting some Marafi paper on sub-drains if I do encounter water. Not a huge deal if I do. Then there was a manhole that got lowered. I think it was about 6 inches, and that was reflected on the plan as well. The overall basin quantity as well. There was some, it had to be remodeled again because of that small edit for the detention basin grading on one side. So it got a new drainage report that was also sent out February 8th, but I have another big copy for you guys if you'd like to have it. So that's all been up to date as well.
All right.
Also on your guys' end, I would say there is a planning board was going to make potentially a motion or a contingent approval upon soil testing at the time of where the infiltration basin is. Back in when this was previously approved, that was the locations of the basins, and they were previously vetted. They kind of just wanted to see if we could have some up-to-date testing. So I did move an excavator out there, or I gave the order. It's going out there tomorrow to dig another test hole, just to bring it up to speed. It's the same material as it was years ago, but I'm gonna come up in back of the house and dig a test hole and have Graves take a look at it. So as it stands right now, it looks like that my engineer is going to go to the next planning board meeting with his kind of explaining each of these small indications in front of the board, and I believe that's going to be potentially that's it. So it should be the final plans. Other than I think the street name might be changing, so
Okay.
that's very minor.
Are there any comments from the board? Okay.
This was the, sorry, I left this. This looks almost exactly the same. All it did was get a little bit wider out in here just for access if the town wanted to do something on the easement.
They're separate homes, they're not home 55, and there's the...
That's correct. There's only 4 single families as of right now.
As of right now, is there plans to possibly do
Right.
more with it?
We'd have to come back to the town and go through the whole process all over again. But for right now, with that blue zone is the 50-foot buffer, and of course the secondary one would be the 100. We did do a site walk, what, a couple months ago maybe.
We did.
And I have an excavator that's going to be dropped off tomorrow, and we're kind of going to go up into here and just do some tests. There's already been cleared, the woods have already been cleared prior since 2008 because they had to deep test it before. So I didn't really want to go and do it because it was done before, but they kind of want it done again, so I said, all right, I'll go ahead and do it. I think it's a big thing is just finding out where the groundwater is, verifying the groundwater again.
Well, that's important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's Albert related?
Yeah, Blinker's right up the front
Blinker's over
here,
there.
so
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
and then takes a
We'll check
turn
over
down,
there.
down to Albert.
Okay, got it.
You know, out of an abundance of caution, this has been an ongoing saga. But I think since you're still technically not done, speaking only for myself now, I would be more comfortable if this was continued to our next meeting. I guess what I'm getting at is that I guess I would like to see the planning board just sign off on the project and approve it.
No, I'm not asking tonight, so I'll ask for continuance to March 8th as well.
Okay.
I just thought I'd come in and give you kind of a refresher before the meeting again.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I always seem to be like one step behind here, so but I
Okay.
like to refresh you guys, but then I'm going to the next stage.
Okay.
Right.
Any comments from the audience? Yes, sir. Can you identify
Yes,
yourself,
sir.
please?
Mark Lindblom, One Eames Drive, Auburn, Mass.
Yes, sir.
So, again, I know on the whole being upright with what's going on.
Come on up.
For 60 acres, is the design really still for 4 house lots? Because that is the major problem that a lot of the neighborhoods has, which has been at the planning boards, maybe not so much as here at Conservation. 60 acres, plus I own One Eames Drive, I had surveyors for your company, ASC Engineering, that was up in my backyard for 6 hours with 4 guys yesterday, going, heading from the top of Eames Drive, heading back towards Tinker Hill, again, for more additional lots.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the 4 houses, it's what are you really gonna plan on doing with 60 acres plus land? And again, I know for the water runoff and all that stuff, what are the actual true plans long range, not just trying to push an existing 4 house lots through. That is one of our biggest issues.
You know,
And does that change afterwards? Now, when you have the 4 lots, and then you go into multiple subdivisions, which we keep hearing for 40B, and all the extra parking lots and all that extra now paved space, and an additional work, including the grades up there. That's our major concern, is what is actually going through, not just 4 house lots.
Okay. Well, I mean, we can only consider what's presented to us.
That's what our issue has been the whole time.
And all I can say to you, sir, is that, I mean, I think this particular submittal has been vetted extensively. The planning board retained Graves Engineering to check all the calculations. As I think you know, there have been multiple comments and back and forth. And so, and I can't speak to future development because frankly, I don't know what that's going to entail. Perhaps Mr. Boardman can enlighten us on that, but we can only consider what is presented to us, and our job really is to make sure that whatever is submitted does comply with the Wetlands Protection Act and the Rivers Act, if that's applicable, and also the town bylaws and our regulations. And so I'm mindful of what you're saying, and all I can say to you is I can't really speak to that because I can only, and I think our board can only consider what's presented to us.
Understood.
You know,
Just wanted to voice my opinion.
I appreciate that. Thank you, sir.
Can we see where are they doing the testing?
It would be, you said in here,
Are
right
you going
here.
up off of Blaker Street, or are you going down by the backside off
No, it's Blaker Street.
Blaker Street?
Yeah, the red house.
Red House?
Yeah.
Okay. So would that be 8 o'clock, 8:15 probably, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it would be
Okay.
8:15.
Okay.
All right, so I move to move Eastland, or have heard Eastland Partners notice of intent for 8:15 on March 8th.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed to vote. Thank you, Mr.
Oh.
Boardman.
Great.
Sorry, did anybody else want to
Sign that
talk?
for me.
I'm sorry, I'm
Sure.
sorry,
Just sign
sorry.
that one.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Second, right, Tom?
Stormwater, I'll take this one again.
Okay.
Take this one?
If you guys don't want, you know, I can bring it back and in case it's, you know, in case it does change. I don't think so, but you never know. My track record here. Thanks a lot.
All right. Thank you.
So did you say you were gonna send us a PDF?
Yeah, that's coming tomorrow. I'll be a
I
phone
kind of want
stuff.
those smaller ones, 11 by 17
Yeah,
inches. and put them in.
I'm dropping those off tomorrow.
Okay.
I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, wonderful.
This is actually legit, but you'll get a PDF of
Okay.
that.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
What?
I'm feeling for him. I wouldn't think I'm gonna deal with that one way or the other.
Is there any other business?
Right.
So I just want to go over where the site visits are going to be. You've got 3 Jerome for Sparhawk. You've got 1519 Southbridge for
Du Bois,
DuBois.
right,
The West Street for the town.
right.
And 314 Washington for Impact Fitness.
Correct.
Yep.
And were you going to do anything on Blaker Street or no? Just let the planning board do that?
I mean, we can take a look again, if we have the fortitude to do it.
Yeah.
We also, I think, should.
22.
And just by the way, it was the middle school that has that stuff on it.
I know.
The high school.
I said that.
That was a West Street.
Didn't I say the middle school?
What about?
Somebody
the-
said high
You
school.
were
I
talking about the
thought I
high
said
school
high
that,
school.
that had some trash or junk.
No,
It
it
was
was
from
the
the
middle
high
school.
school. You thought it was from the high school.
It's the middle school. I know what you were talking about. And then we also have to look at 889 Southbridge Street.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Panarelli.
How about,
So-
What about Ashcroft Street? Mike?
Yes, I have
Remember we
that
told
Oh, my.
last meeting that we were gonna try to go there?
We're gonna be together all day. Maybe we should bring a picnic basket.
Get some rain gear.
What's Ashburn?
Ashcroft Street.
Well,
His
we were gonna
house,
call, so I have a note, call him for a site visit. We're going to call him to see if we can check it.
He cleared out,
He cleared out,
an area.
right, a lot of
Somebody
area.
look at the
Oh,
last
he
meeting.
cleared out a
Yeah.
lot of areas, putting
We
a
told-
house right down
Yeah.
back, the end of Ashcroft.
We told him we'd just go there and take a look at it. before-
22,
Yeah,
correct.
22.
Okay.
Yes, we'll take a look at that.
22,
Okay.
yeah, all right, I'll send
That'll be
you
number
a
6.
list.
And weren't we gonna hit
Send us a
Waterman
list.
too, just for fun?
You gonna send us a list? Oh, great,
Yeah,
thank you.
and Blaker and.
Well, we can take a look. I mean, that's probably that's a 2-minute
Yeah.
view.
Which one? I'm sorry, the last one.
Just 2 Waterman
Do
Street.
you want me to plan the
Yes,
schedule
yes,
out
yes.
for you?
Yes,
No.
We
please.
didn't do anything with Applebee's? No. Is that sort of done?
He's gonna do it.
We're sort of done with Applebee's.
What?
She's gonna do it.
No, I just said you've got to do it.
I'll tell you what,
Yeah,
why
you
don't
can
you
do that
send...
when you get
no,
together.
Why don't you send us a list of the places we need to go to?
I was going to,
Thank
yes.
you. But you don't have to put down specific times,
Okay.
okay?
She has to do it in order, in chronological
You
order.
did tell Jerome Ave you'd be there at 9:30.
I did say that, so that's
Okay.
the only one,
All right,
okay?
good enough.
I have a question. What happens to the enforcement orders that?
They
exist
stay
in
in-
They
just
stay in
until-
effect.
In perpetuity.
There you go.
Perpetuity, until
Good
we
word.
dissolve them. It's a
Okay.
great word,
Okay,
okay?
thank you.
So,
That explains those.
if there's no other business, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Okay.
Seconded?
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, it's a vote.